Hey everybody, this is Will Middleton from wpcourseguide.com, and in today's video I'm going to talk through how you can, this is going to be a developer level tutorial about how to edit all of your lessons at once using an SQL command. Or SQL command. And it's a developer level thing because we'll be messing around in MySQL, we'll be messing around in the database, and we'll be doing some developer level stuff. But it's not too complicated. You can copy and paste from the video description the SQL command that I use in the video. You'll see it in the video too, so you can copy and paste everything and you can follow along with the tutorial. But always make sure to do a backup when you're doing database stuff. But yeah, if you want to see more developer level tutorials from my channel, feel free to drop that in the comments and let me know if you have any questions about SQL commands or what you can do with that kind of thing when updating your online course and membership websites when you have a lot of content and you want to update a bunch of it at once. This is an example where we use WP Fusion connected to my MailChimp account in addition to LifterLMS, but you can do this with WP Fusion and LearnDash. You can do this with WP Fusion and blog posts. You can do this with, doesn't even have to be WP Fusion. You could use it with any kind of LMS system. If you wanted to, you're using Tutor LMS and you wanted to update like all of your lessons to have some certain information, you could do that too. So this is a very extendable tutorial that could go in a lot of directions, but a lot of people aren't familiar that you can actually do these things inside of the database. So I wanted to create a video to highlight the flexibility of what you can do as a developer in WordPress when you're working with LMS systems. I hope you enjoy the video and let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. Ooh, let's see, is the mic on? There it is. Jump back and forth. Make sure I don't have any. Cool. So the solution for creating an SQL command to update a bunch of lessons at once is to, let me spin up a local site real quick and I'll demo how this works. So I just deleted my other one that I was using for a test. So this is SQL demo 2. It's my WordPress instance. I'm just spinning up a local website here so I can show you what it looks like to update lessons. So let me get my WordPress environment set up real quick. Add site. Ask me for my password. Here it is. So let's jump into WP admin. So I'm going to log into username and password. And I need to get my LifterLMS installed. I need to get WP Fusion installed to show you these settings. So we're going to upload. Nope, not going to upload. We're going to go to LifterLMS. Let me get my Lifter install going. All right, run through the setup wizard. I'm going to install a sample course, so I have some lessons to update in bulk from the database. So we're going to add these pages to the website. We're going to keep the currency. We're not going to do a coupon. And I'm going to add the quick start course. You know what? We're trying to do multiple courses as an example. So let's add all 3 of these courses. So I'm creating a website, LifterLMS example, with a bunch of courses on it. And then from here, I'm going to need to pause. I'm going to install my WP Fusion license. I'm going to upload my WP Fusion plugin and I'm going to install the WP Fusion license. So I'm going to pause the video. In 1 sec, I'll be back. Just FYI, I'm just going to go down to the plugins area, install and upload my downloaded file and get my license key all activated. And for this demo, I'm going to connect to my MailChimp account. So I'll go get my MailChimp API key real quick too. So I'll be right back. All right, so I added WP Fusion to my website. I got my WP Fusion license key installed, and I got my MailChimp API key connected to WP Fusion. So I just paused the video so that my private API keys, license keys, and whatnot weren't shown. But now we're back. We've got our Lifter site. We've got WP Fusion installed and activated. And so now it is time to show how we can update some keys in the database. So let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is the row in the database is not created until we activate at least one of the options. So let me go to database on my local Flywheel site here. Open adminer. Okay, so here's my database software. You might be using something that looks a little bit different, but probably pretty similar for database on whatever website host you're on. And so WP Fusion stores this data in the post meta table. And so in order for, if I click select data and I search for the data, and if I do like WPF, I'm not going to see anything because no rows have been created yet. Why does it looks like on my end, it looks like my camera reloads every time I load a page. I hope it doesn't look that way on your end. But yeah, so I search in the database. I don't see any options related to WP Fusion here. But what happens is if I go to the back end of my WordPress site and I edit a page, for example, let's make my course catalog restricted to membership only, or not membership only, but use this WP Fusion setting right here in the corner. And I want to say I want to redirect you to the dashboard page if you don't have access to this. What's going to happen if I reload is that we will now have a WP Fusion settings meta key in the database. So it doesn't slow down your database if you're not using this feature. So that's a nice nod to the developer. But we do want to use this, and we want all of our lessons. Basically, the challenge in this example is we want all of our lessons over here in Lifter. I've got 51 lessons, and I don't want to go through 51 at a time and update each lesson individually. So, because I could go down here and do WP Fusion settings and type out dashboard 51 times. But if you're doing a course site and you have like 2,400, 5,000 lessons, that's a lot of time. And so we'll save you time doing that. And so we're going to update all of our lessons, all 51 at once. And so how we'll do that is by going over to my database area here, and we will go to the SQL command area. And I'm going to pause the video real quick. I'm going to open my notes. I'm going to get the SQL command, and I'm going to drop it right here in this window. I'll be right back. All right, we are back. So you can find this code or this SQL command. You can copy and paste this into here. And what this will do is we're going to insert into the WP post meta table. We're going to put in the post ID, meta key, and the meta value. And so we have we're going to select the ID from the WP post table where the post type equals lessons, and we're going to go to the WP Fusion settings is going to be the meta key, and the meta value of that key is going to be this little string right here. And the important piece of this is that the 17, that where I have, let me zoom in, I have 17 right there. That needs to be the ID of the dashboard page. So let me go figure out what my dashboard page ID is real quick. So I'm going to go back to my WordPress site. I'm going to edit my dashboard page, and it's 17. All right, cool. On my other demo site, I could see the 17 actually up in the URL bar there. On my other demo site, it was 17 too, because I did the same. But yours might be like 358143. It could be like a crazy number. But as long as you know that this number here for your dashboard is where I want people to be redirected to when they, if they they don't have access to the page, they need to get redirected to ID 17, which is my student dashboard, because they need to log in if they don't have access. So Yeah, so that's the page ID, and then that is the query. So command, the SQL command, right? So we're going to update post ID from post type lessons where the meta. We're going to get all of our lessons. So we should have 51. I think it's 51 lessons on this site. Post ID, meta key, meta value. Let's execute. 51 rows have been affected. So that's going to hit all 51. It's going to insert new. It's going to insert or update. Oh, there's my screen going bonkers because I scrolled down too much. Can I not? What is going on here? Scroll up. Jesus. Okay, is it done? All right, it's done. That's beautiful, beautiful software design. But yeah, so the SQL command, it inserted 51 rows into. Okay, it's gonna. All right, it's gonna go crazy on me again. It put a bunch of rows into my WP post meta. And if I do that search again for like WPF, right? We select this. We've got like a bunch of rows now. So we have a bunch of meta keys for the WPF settings related to a bunch of post types in my lessons, right? So if I go to the back end of WordPress now, I go into my courses, lessons, and then I can see the lock icon from WP Fusion is now on all of my 51 lessons. And if I edit any of my lessons, I can see on the right side over here, it says the box is automatically checked, and it redirects to the dashboard, and it did it in one swoop where it hit all of my lessons at once without me needing to spend hours and hours editing each of these individually. So this is a very specific example with WP Fusion and LifterLMS. But you could do this whenever you're dealing with data in bulk in WordPress. You can use SQL commands or SQL commands to speed up your process with updating things in bulk.